may pier ng Tacloban at napakalakas na ng hangin, pero hindi pa po tumatama ang sentro ng bagyo dito sa bahagi ng Tacloban.
The oil spill at the San Pedro River in San Pedro Laguna now under control. Authorities say the oil spill boom that was deployed to the affected area prevented the oil from reaching Laguna de Bay.
Sugod-sugod. Magi bakante yan diri. Saan ang sugod do? Kani? Oo. Sugod.
These are the faces of hunger in Gaza, a crisis affecting hundreds of thousands of people in the besieged enclave, like this group of children at a soup kitchen in Khan Yunis, crushed by the crowd.
Aabot sa 200 personalidad na may iba't ibang posisyon o katayuan sa lipunan ang sangkot umano sa maanumalyang flood control project sa buong Pilipinas.
Sa Iligan City, patay na ng matagpuan ng isang batang babae matapos anuri ng baha.
Sa alaala na lamang gugunitain ng mag-asawang Jenilyn at Jason ang kabutihan ng kanilang 20 anyos na panganay na si Jello. Namatay si Jello sa sakit na leptospirosis matapos lumusong sa baha para hanapin ang nawawalang ama.
Right now, there's also the space to hold the enemies of democracy accountable.
As the storm grows stronger and creases hit closer to home, the question is no longer if disaster will come, but whether we'll act now or regret later.
Hi mga ga!
Welcome to Ready to Ga Season 1,
where we will tackle about disaster risk reduction and management. Listen,
grab your coffees
or go bags and let's dive into the Ready to Ga first podcast episode, Proactivity before aftermath of calamities. Hi ga, I am your ga as Nari.
Hi Ga, I am your Ga, RJ.
Hi ga, I am your ga, Sean.
Og diri atong masayran og makatunan ang mga butang ukol importansya sa disaster risk reduction ug risk management. Ready na ka? Ready ta ga!
When disaster strikes with increasing frequency in our ever-changing world, the true test of society lies not just in how we respond, but in whether we choose to prepare before the next one hits.
So yeah, we have been hearing the word disaster, but what does disaster truly means? Shan, do you have any idea?
Yeah. For me, gaha, disaster is catastrophic events, either natural or human caused, that severely disrupts a community.
Oh, so basically disaster is not really necessary to be a natural disaster or something that naturally occurred in our environment, but it's something like that was induced by the human action or interactions.
By the way, bitaw ga, no? Have you noticed katong mga recent disasters na na-struck sa ato ang society karon?
Yes, definitely. I've seen those all throughout the internet. Like for example, the war or like the genocide that are currently occurring in state of Palestine. The one that happened recently at Cebu City, which is the earthquake.
That was so tragic, actually.
76 na ang death toll in recent
oh my God.
data.
Yes, totally. That was totally devastating. And what just currently happened, which is the misuse of the fund for the fat control. Recently, that occurred a lot of death. And just this is actually one of the example of the human-induced activity that causes humanitarian crisis as well as disaster. Basically, that occurs as recently about the flood control issues is not only a natural disaster, but also a both issue. Okay, so
Bitaw mga ga, unsa na mga organizations ang kanang responsible anin actions?
Kana gud ga no, naatay NDRRMC or ang ginatawag na National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council. Kana sila actually is organization na naga-notify sa tua, naga-himo gani og mga preventive measures para sa tua when it comes to kanang mga disaster risk. Aside from NDRRMC mga ga, we also have LGUs na of course they are responsible for helping their people in their city. Aside from their people in their own city, they actually lend help to other cities as well.
Yeah.
Ay, kabalo mo ato.
Just like the Cebu incident.
Nagpadala na ang city government ng Davao, di ba?
that's the
Yeah.
time.
Diba siya?
Yeah, that's the time where you
Yes.
can see or you can sense the
Yeah.
humanity actions in this case, right? Like just like what they say, Filipino is like has a sense of hospitality.
Yeah.
Kaso, mga trucks na city government ng Davao, na mga packages nagikan sa
Yes.
atuan
Yeah.
from the Davao, di ba? Tapos nagpadala po sila mga personnel, di ba?
Yes.
It's how we see on how the LGUs can work properly even if it isn't involved in their city as well. Even if,
Yeah.
I mean, remember that's Visayas, right? Very far away,
Yeah.
pero nakatabang ang ating city government, di ba? Our LGU, our
Yes.
local government. And of course, aside sa mga LGUs, naapod tayo mga ginatawag na NGOs such as PDRF. Kana sila ang mga mga international po na sila ng mga organizations na nagatabang po sa atoa when it comes sa mga calamity. Oh, of course, kabalo man tatanan sa Red Cross guro no?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm truly familiar with
Kana
that
sila
one.
is actually dili sila matawag na not government po o government actually because they are auxiliary or kanang gatabang or aid sa government ug sa NDRRMC. Remember mo kanang mga camp or kanang mga training sa mga Red Cross?
Yes,
Yan na gani.
I do still
Yes.
remember that one because I was a former member of Red Cross
Bitaw.
Youth. Yes, I was a
Mga
member.
So I heard you
Yes.
participated to that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually before and you're right. Diba?
Yes, I'm a former bandager as well as a basic life
Diba?
support member.
So at that time diha nato mahibaw-an ang mga preventive measures or trainings to utilize the citizenship or the camaraderie when it comes to disaster risk on
Yeah.
how people or citizen can also help each other, di ba?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, unsa pa'y lain ng mga organizations aside from that na naga-function till now?
Bitaw ga no, dapat tayo mga other organizations aside from the NDRRMC, LGUs, and NGOs. Are you familiar with Project NOAA?
I haven't heard.
Yes.
I haven't heard anything
Ang
about
Project
it.
NOAA actually managed na siya by UP. They are actually,
Really?
ginag-check gani nila ka na
Wow.
mga
Wow,
tectonic
that's really
plates sa mga
amazing.
lugar para to help us know.
So they
the-
cite hazard zones sa
Yes.
place.
Wow,
Okay.
that's actually super
And-
advanced.
Yeah.
And of course, DOH. Kaya nandun mo ato ga katong Taal volcano eruption.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. DOH actually helped that time by utilizing its sources on helping us use preventive measures, di ba? Nagpamas sila. And of course, naapod tayo actually DENR, Department of Environment and Natural Resources. You guys remember Sierra Madre?
Totoo, I
Yeah.
still remember.
DNR helps us prevent natural disasters by mitigating or help manage resources or natural resources.
So, we have the NDRRMC, or also known as the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council. It is the highest authorized body for disaster risk reduction and management in the Philippines that is responsible for coordinating government and private sector's efforts to protect the public during disasters. They are established under the Republic Act 10121 or the Disaster Risk and Management Act of 2012. So basically, according to Republic Act 10121, various local governments throughout the country should establish local DRRM offices at the regional, provincial, municipal, city, and barangay levels.
And by the way, kanang NDRRMC ba? Have you noticed like when there was one time in Davao City that there was an earthquake that occurred, and then there was signs that there was going to be an earthquake, right?
Yes, I still remember that.
Yeah, and then what they did was actually send notices and preventive measures for the people, right?
Yeah, did you receive an alarm from the
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I do.
That's what
I
we
did
receive in
receive.
our messages, right? Yeah, actually.
I was totally flabbergasted when I received that alarm or notification.
And it
I was
actually
like,
vibrated.
yeah, it vibrated.
And by the way, of course, during the calamity, have you remembered Yolanda, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the most
Powerful
terrifying
typhoons
Horrific, I would say.
in history, I would say.
And we also saw how the NDRRMC worked, and of course, they use inflatable boats, rescue teams, right? And they utilize a lot of sources to help the people, right?
So Maga, can we discuss the other projects that exist now?
Oh yeah, actually, fun fact, kabalo mo sa Central 911 sa Davao City? Which it started in 2002, and actually, no, ang maka-proud sa Davao City, it's because it's the first Central 911 in Southeast Asia and the third in the world. So, ang Central 911 nato diri is, it's a number na kung asa diha nata pwede mo tawag para sa ato ang help, sa atong mga disaster needs, ug sa kanang mga fire gani sa BFP, sa mga hospital nga gani na unlike sa others na need pa mo tawag og other numbers. So at least ang atuwa is isa na lang ka number para sa tanan gani.
Para sa tanan.
Yeah.
Making our life more easier.
Yes, of course.
Truly, Davao life is here, they said.
Of course.
So, by the way, nadag may i-share sa inyo ha, and that is the Ready to Rebuild Disaster Rehabilitation and Recovery Program. This is a joint collaboration of NDRRMC, Office of Civil Defense, and World Bank. This aims to build the capacity of national and local governments to recover better and faster from natural and human-induced disasters even before they happen. But that is not only for implementation. We also have the Plan Smart Ready to Rebuild web application. This is the plan application for or an automated planning tool for disaster rehabilitation and recovery developed by the Department of Science and Technology, Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology. It is in collaboration with the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, Office of Civil Defense, and the World Bank.
So Maga, let's go back to disaster and their implications.
So yet again, kanang mga natural disasters gani, that happens when for example kanang mga what happened previously, right, sa katong sa Cebu, earthquake, tsunami, di ba?
Yes.
Grabe kaayo, El Nino, El Niña, di ba? Of course kanang sa US, kabalo mo kanang mga typhoon, di ba?
Typhoon.
O kanang tornadoes.
Yeah. In American region, they have a right term for the word typhoon. I forgot. If I'm not mistaken, it is the cyclone, right?
Yeah,
Cyclone.
Cyclone?
Yeah.
Hurricane, rather.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hurricane.
hurricane.
Yeah, that one.
Hurricane. So, we almost forgot that we have already discussed the human-made, but let me expound this one for you. So, when we say human-made, it is a disaster created or caused by human activities, like cutting down trees. Those are the example of human-made, but that is not only limited for that example that I've mentioned earlier. It could be also in relation with the policy making. Like for example, like what we have mentioned earlier recently, the corruption. Always remember corruption kills society and corrupted the dreams that we are supposed to have or to
Yes, of
achieve.
course.
So yes. So we can now go ahead and proceed with what are the citizens' role?
Yes, Maga, of course, it is one of our core responsibility as citizens to follow LGU announcement and advisories of the government, and that's why it is necessary to take precautions before, after, and during disasters.
Always remember your go bags. What should be the inclusion with the go bag? So, go bags must contain the following: the alcohol, band-aids and bandages, tissues, flashlights, of course, kung wala kang ilaw.
Yes.
How can you navigate things, right?
Of course.
So,
Exactly.
medicine, dapat hindi ka magkasakit in the middle of a disaster or calamities. Ready to eat goods. Of course, bawal kang gutom during that
Yes.
disasters. Batteries, whistle, radio, or walkie-talkie, and of course the rope or paracodes and etc. Anything that is or are available to your home or on your premises.
And of course, ready yourself and don't panic. So mga ga,
In the end,
Disaster readiness should never be a seasonal conversation, nor a performance reserved only for headlines and photo opportunities.
if there is one truth we must leave you with,
it's this. Resilience is not built after the ruins.
But long before the storm arrives. Ika nga,
ligtas ang may alam.
I am your Ga RJ.
And I am your ga Asnari.
I'm your ga, Sean.
Ready na ka?
Ready na ga!